Everybody, what's going on? I'm Fabian for Liberty, FabianForLiberty.com. Hope everybody had a great weekend. So I've seen some incredible things happen over the last 6 years since Obama took office, but today I learned probably one of the most incredible things of this man's presidency that I think should pretty much shock everyone. Maybe not shock people, actually, because many of you, including myself, may kind of really think this is not out of his league, or for that matter, the people that run him and control him. But where do we start with this Ferguson thing? I mean, literally, would you ever think the President of the United States would be trying to foment a race war in America? I believe that's exactly what Obama's doing. I believe that's exactly what the radical leftists in America are doing. And for that matter, they are working the plan of, I think, global elites to really divide America, whether it's by executive action on immigration, where he's basically going to give over 5 million illegals amnesty, or whether it is across racial lines, one of the divide and conquer tactics used by radical revolutionaries for hundreds of years now. Whether it's tribalism, whether it's race, whatever it is. And I have literally before me just so many talking points on this subject. But first, let me just read to you a few of the agitators that have surrounded themselves around Obama. The first one is Timothy Geithner. Here's what Mr. Timothy Geithner said in a recent address he gave to a graduating class. He said, "We have tremendously high numbers of people living in poverty. We've had a long period where the median income has not grown and a big rise in inequality. And to an extent, this should not be acceptable to Americans. How well you do in life, how good your education is, how good your health care is, depends too much on the color of your skin or how rich your parent is." It doesn't stop there. Here is the so-called Attorney General, Eric Holder, who has been fomenting racial division in America since day one of taking his office. He went on to say, "Codified segregation of public schools has been barred since Brown versus Board of Education. But in too many of our school districts, significant divisions persist and segregation has reoccurred, including zero-tolerance school discipline practices that, while well-intentional and aimed at promoting school safety, affect black males at a rate 3 times higher than their white peers." Now, of course, nowhere along here is personal responsibility talked about. Nowhere along here is the destruction of the black family because of the welfare state talked about. Nowhere here do they talk about the fact that 80% of black households have no father figure in the household. Or, for that matter, never do they talk about the fact that the protesters, which are, make no mistake, in Ferguson, naked communists, who chant, "Stop killing us." The fact is that overwhelmingly 90% of every black youth in America is killed by another black guy in black-on-black crime. Now, where's Obama or Jesse Jackson on any of that? And it goes back to the culture, and quite frankly, it goes back to the welfare state that has created a warfare state in urban communities. Now, I'll tell you what, a lot of black people that I speak to that comment or reach out to me from these videos are fed up with it and sick of it. And I think they're smart enough to get they're being used just like Mexicans or just like illegals coming over here as political footballs. And I say Mexicans, of course, I mean Mexicans that are coming over from Mexico. But it doesn't just stop there. So as if, and I can read you a bunch of others of these from Michelle Obama, Nancy Pelosi, that really all they have left, their policies are such failures. All they have left is to divide and conquer. Now, you'd think that's bad enough, but Obama, apparently, at the beginning of this month, actually met with the Ferguson protesters, according to the Gateway Pundit and the New York Times, and he went on to say, quote, "Stay the course." Now, these same protesters have come out with a list of planned places that they're going to protest. Among them are, you know, the courthouse and the city hall, which, yeah, if you're going to lead a protest, I guess that's good places. But if you're leading protests over Michael Brown being shot by a police officer, why would you also be protesting and marking as lists to go protest Boeing or, for that matter, Anheuser-Busch? Kind of doesn't make sense here unless you think like a radical communist, and it's really not about Michael Brown. It's about revolution that Obama is supporting. Civil war in America that Obama and his handlers, the New World Order, is supporting right in your face. You got it? Now, let me go on to say, I read and did a college paper on the book called The Turner Diaries. That didn't go over so well with the professor. But I don't agree with the Turner Diaries. Just like I don't agree with the race pimps like Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, all the other people that are basically saying, look, if you don't support throwing tires around the cops and lighting them on fire, the cop who shot Michael Brown, you're basically a racist. If I don't support Obamacare, if I don't support amnesty for illegals, if I don't support, just all kinds of leftist, communist, psychopathic, really is what they are, programs, and somehow I'm a racist. And I'm sick of it. I'm not a racist. I don't care what color people is. In fact, as a libertarian thinker, as just somebody who believes truly in free market capitalism, that being racist against somebody and not hiring or not, I just want to work with the best. I don't care if they're black, brown, green. It doesn't matter to me. I want to surround myself with the best people that I can. And it's just so amazing how people fall into this. But it doesn't end there. Of course, Missouri has declared a state of emergency. I could tell you with probably I believe this 100%, that you have the DHS, likely the feds and the Department of Injustice infiltrating the protesters, fomenting the violence. Because what they want to do is they want to create this major race war, for that matter, just make the protest incredible. They want to come down, top down, pose as they're the good guys, the feds pointing guns at basically the protesters that are peaceful protesters. And they want to end protests in America, period. They know what's coming. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, for the love of Pete, they're killing bankers every single day by suicide. Okay? They know what's going to happen. So they need to foment the race riots ahead of the food riots, or for that matter, the dollar riots that are going to follow. When? I don't know, but they're coming. Okay? And on that front, I hope I'm wrong. On this part, it's just so incredibly obvious. DHS is taking over these Ferguson riots. You have the National Guard coming in. And for that matter, you have many, many multinational companies that stand to make a ton of money off of these riots as well. One of them I'll give you is a company called Safariland. Yeah, no, not a place you take your kids to go miniature golfing. No, they're one of the biggest creators and manufacturers of tear gas. In fact, their tear gas has been used all around the world. And their George Orwellian slogan, I kid you not, is "Together we save lives." Boy, isn't that sweet? This is, if for anything else, if we lived in a real America, if we lived in America that was not hijacked by globalist frontmen for the New World Order or banksters, the banking mafia, Obama would be impeached immediately. You think the new Republicans that took office should be filing impeachment hearings today, just not even for all the list of crimes he's committed, but just for the fact he met with a bunch of agitators that are naked communists whose goal it is to pretty much, in my opinion, end protests for you and I against legitimate issues. Forget about the fact that the grand jury is about to come out and over 6 black witnesses basically corroborated the story of the white cop that Michael Brown was drugged out of his mind, attacked the police officer in his car, busted his eye socket, did not have autopsy report, clearly shows he did not have his hands up when he was shot. So, does any of that matter? No. The facts don't matter when you have revolutionaries trying to destable and eventually destroy what is left of the Republic. I'm Fabian for Liberty, FabianForLiberty.com. If you haven't seen the shirt that I'm wearing, it's the new Fabian for Liberty shirts. Pretty cool. Got them in today. Anyways, keep watching this story. See what happens. A lot of other economic stuff I wasn't able to get to. I'm going to break some of those down in the podcast today. New ISIS developments as well. Interesting world that we live in. Want to thank everyone also, last quick point, that joined me Friday for my webinar on real estate investing. Was the biggest one yet. Had close to 1,000 people on that webinar, which was pretty freaking awesome. A lot of people want to learn. Look, whether it's real estate investing, entrepreneurship, whatever it is, I don't care. I would suggest you start some preparations for your own financial security, because the system clearly is prepping for something completely different than what the average American has in store for his future. Thanks for watching. I'm out.